Good morning, everyone. It's a nice, cool morning. I don't know, when is the summer going to come? Good morning and welcome to Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist Church in Pasadena. Welcome to all members, friends, and guests. My name is Joyce Wetzeltoft, and I'm happy to be serving as your worship associate today. Neighborhood Church creates and grows an inclusive community of faith, connected by love, spirit, and service. We acknowledge our presence on the ancestral and unceded territory of the Gabrielino Tongva peoples, the traditional caretakers of the lands and waters of this campus. With respect for the rights and the wisdom of Indigenous people, we acknowledge our harmful colonial histories and commit to decolonizing our own practices, to learning new ways of being in community and with each other in good relationship with the Indigenous people of this land and with the land itself. Welcome to this inclusive community connected by love, spirit, and service.
Gather this morning, dear ones, in this place of spirit and love. Gather here in person or perhaps online with us this morning. Gather in this space of sacred community. Today we gather here in celebration of the cycle of our lives, a church year gathering to do the sacred work of community, a community gathered to honor those who have passed this year, ancestors and our chosen ancestors. And today we gather for the flowers, our Earth Mother's bounty that is proof of fertility. It is proof of the cyclical nature of our lives, rising from the soil, beauty in our gathering, and then returning to the earth's embrace. In 1923, the Unitarian Church in Prague, Czechoslovakia, celebrated the first flower communion, or flower ceremony, depending on where you're from, as its creator, the Reverend Norbert Čapek, called it. My colleague, the Reverend Tess Baumgartner, writes this: "There will be a brightness to this day, even if there be but cloud and sprinkles outdoors. The brightness of this day comes from within. From this gladly gathered company there will be color and fragrance to this day, even if there be but gray outside and chill at this moment. The color and fragrance come from within, from the flowering of our spirits in this place. There will be praise and laughter on this day, even if there be but difficulty elsewhere in our world. The praise and the laughter come from within. Today let there be brightness. Today let there be color and fragrance. Today let there be praise and laughter. Spirit of the flowers blooming, be with us. Flowers of the Spirit blooming, be with us." And today, at any point during the music in our opening hymn or later, those of you who still have flowers, please come forward and put them on our altar. Come, let us worship together this morning. I invite you to center yourself in this time and place of our gathering today, in this space of shared community, in this space of beauty. I invite you to consider what kind of flower you are. If you'd like to look at these flowers that are in front of us, that is fine. If you prefer to close your eyes and imagine the flower of your being, starting with roots deep in the soil, extending up. What kind of soil are you planted in? Is it damp, dark? Perhaps it is sandy. Where is your location of your thriving? Are you in the shade of a large tree, on the hillside, in the desert? As your stem reaches up, feel the strength of your body centered here. Imagine yourself, perhaps your stem is woody, strong, or maybe it is green and leafy. How tall are you? Do you reach towards the sun? Are you clustered with your community? How are your petals? Are they soft, spiny? What color are you? Are you red or purple or yellow? How do you move throughout the day? Do you follow the sun as it tracks through the sky? Do you close in the evening, or perhaps that is when you open? Breathe deeply in and out. And I invite you to open your eyes and relocate yourself in this place a garden of beautiful flowers in our sanctuary this morning. At this point, we'll join in song for our opening hymn, and if you'd like to come forward and place your altars on the flowers. Maybe let's place the flowers on the altar instead.
As you're coming forward and prepare to sing our opening hymn, number 64, "Oh Give Us Pleasure in the Flowers Today," I encourage you, if you have a hymnal, to check out the text and pay close attention to the words. This is a new hymn for, look at all the people. Let's get into it. Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing, "Oh, give us pleasure in the flowers today."
Each Sunday, our congregation dedicates 100% of its contributions to 501c3 organizations or neighborhood church-based social justice activities that are making a difference in our community and the world. Each selected guest organization aligns with our community's mission and values and is nominated by church members who are often longtime volunteers and supporters of these change-making organizations. You can donate in one of two ways. You can use your cell phone to donate by texting the word neighborhood to the number on the screen, there, and there. Or if you prefer to donate in person, you can put your donation in one of the designated boxes during the music or after the service. There's a donation box here in front, one behind the center row, and in the narthex entryway on the table. You may rise during the music to put your donation in the box. If you wish, sorry. Please extend help to those in your area who may need assistance in reaching the donation boxes. If you wish to make a payment toward your pledge or contribute to church operations, make a note in the subject line or use an envelope available at the donation boxes. This week's our gifts support the reading partners at Jackson Elementary School, Pasadena. Great cause. Chloe Oliveras, the executive director, joins us to give us more information. Chloe?
Good morning, everyone. I wore the right dress today. My name is Chloe Oliveras, and I'm the proud executive director of Reading Partners Los Angeles. We are a literacy organization supporting elementary school students who are reading below grade level directly in public elementary schools. We serve 7 elementary schools in the Pasadena-Altadena area, as well as many schools across the greater LA area as well. And we do that by bringing in community volunteers, and it's so wonderful to look out and see some familiar faces. But they work one-on-one with our students using our curriculum to help expedite their rate of learning so that we can close their gaps and get them on the level with their peers. So I am very familiar with the classroom, and I'm going to call on folks. What percentage of students do we think in this country are reading at grade level by the time they enter the 4th grade? 37. 25. 40. So we're really close to the actual inverse of that statistic. So only about 30% of our students in this country are reading at grade level by the time they enter the 4th grade. 25% in LA County. Students who are not reading on grade level by the time they enter the 4th grade are 4 times more likely to drop out of high school. Students who drop out of high school are less likely to have more opportunities as adults. I came to Reading Partners from the high school space, seeing what passing our students through our education system without the proper support does to our students and their opportunities that they have later in life. So Reading Partners exists to do just that, and we have a lot of fun doing it. We bring volunteers into our elementary schools. They partner directly with our students. They get to know them. They help build their confidence, but they also make them amazing readers. So, Reading Partners is also a federally funded program. The chuckling. And just 3 weeks ago, our Department of Government Efficiency terminated our AmeriCorps grant on a Sunday, effective Friday. Essentially halting operations for Reading Partners the very next day. We have been very fortunate to bring our folks back on in a different way, but right now we are focused on sustaining operations because our students need it. And our students, particularly our students in Pasadena, should not see any further educational disruptions. Not this year, not next year. So, by supporting us today, you're supporting our students as they become lifelong readers and learners in the sustaining of our program out here in Pasadena, but also across LA. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Chloe. And it's so important with the current state of our administration to support organizations like this, especially literacy. It's very close to my heart, and you just made me think I need to volunteer. So thank you all for giving generously.
Thank you. Today is the final Sunday that we will have our bells this season, and so we're going to ask that after we play our 2 anthems today, you may hold, if you would refrain from applauding, but for the moment, will you please give our bell ensemble a hand?
The flowers on our altar today are beautiful. They represent renewal and hope amidst pain, the power of joy to help us endure despair, the ultimate symbol of the cycle of our lives, and blooms that burst forth from darkness when all feels lost. These blooms live lives of sun-kissed petals and the fall of those petals as our time on this green earth closes. Today we celebrate these flowers, and we also celebrate those who are no longer here with us. Their deaths still raw to us. Their losses still felt in our hearts. Their presence still felt in this space of community. Today we will honor them with a ritual to remember them, those who have recently died in this community. But before we begin that ritual, let us bless together these flowers here. Gather with me in this prayer that Norbert Chopik wrote and recited in 1923. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessing on these, thy messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us, amidst diversity of knowledge and of gifts, to be one in desire and affection and devotion to thy holy will. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as one of thy most precious gifts. May we not let awareness of another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do the work in the world. At this time, I invite you, if you are called to do so, to rise and come forward to one of the microphones and say aloud the name of a beloved of yours or of this community who has died in the past year. A person whose flower has faded but still blooms in our hearts. We invite the memory of our dearly beloved family and community members into this space with us this morning. I will light a candle on our pulpit to honor them.
Bob Spencer.
My friend Brian Kinney.
My childhood friend, Chris Soldate. Lolo Toddleben.
David Tomlinson.
My dog, Dougal.
Scott Huntley.
My mother, Joyce Thompson.
Timothy Moore.
The spirits of Altadena.
My father, James Coleman.
Toshi Yoshida Perkins.
Tom Schultz. Catherine Gorey, my sister.
Donald Radcliffe.
My dear friend, Virginia Herringer.
My beloved niece, Lynette Canier.
My sister's father-in-law, Lupe Marquez.
Doug Coulter, Ricardo Miranda, Patricio Torres, and Alfredo Trujillo. has not been a good year.
My student, Eli Tuttlemore.
Carol McCohen.
Our good friend, Gail Bowman.
And Nancy Busaka.
A friend, Fritzy Kulik.
My dad, Dennis Churchill.
My Aunt Judy.
My cousin, Ted Nodder.
Nancy Goose.
My aunt, Evangeline Moeller.
I chose these flowers for the names who we did not bring into this space, but we hold in our hearts today. Join with me in a moment of silence as we honor them. It had not occurred to me until this moment that with our bell choir coming together, many different sounds forming a beautiful harmony, that we actually have a flower choir here on our altar today. You are like flowers. The flowers are like music. Today we celebrate flower communion, and this is a ritual within the Unitarian Universalist tradition that celebrates adversity in tough times. In times of extreme difficulty, how the power of the earth, the power of nature, the spirit that unites us all still blooms. This is a story that is outlined by my colleagues, the Reverends Terry and David Schwartz, and their retelling of the story of Norbert Chapek and the first flower communion. His mother was a devout Catholic and his father was agnostic. He became an acolyte very young in his life, around the age of 10. And in 1890, Norbert went to St. Martin's Catholic Church. In the years that followed, he, however, became somewhat disillusioned with his religious training. His priest and mentor was somewhat of a cynic, they say. At 18, he later apprenticed to his uncle, who was a successful tailor in Vienna. And at that time, Norbert discovered the Baptists, became very connected, so much so that he studied to become a minister. He founded almost a dozen churches from the Ukraine to Budapest at that time. And yet, slowly, over the course of his early ministerial career, his faith became more and more liberal. He left Bohemia under government threat and accepted a call to serve at a Baptist church in New York City. Until one day in 1919. That day he wrote in his diary, "I cannot be a Baptist anymore, even in compromise. The fire of new desires, of new worlds is burning inside of me." So Norbert and his wife, Maja, joined a Unitarian church in New Jersey in 1921. Perhaps for some of the same reasons that a whole lot of you did as well. Their children liked the religious education program, and that is the power of our teachers. So thank you, teachers who are here in this room with us today. World War I ended, and his home country was then independent. He and Maja returned to Czechoslovakia. His church, the Unitarian Church, was the Prague Liberal Religious Fellowship, and in just 20 years as he served there, it had over 3,000 members. The traditional Christian communion service of bread and wine did not seem to meet the requirements of his new congregation because his church, not unlike ours, had people who believed different things. Chapek turned to the beauty of the countryside, to the beauty of the flowers, and in 1923 he developed the flower ceremony that we celebrate today. He asked his congregants to bring a flower to church from their gardens or the fields or the roadsides on their way. He invited each person to place their flower in a vase, as you did this morning. There was in the church community no less unique, this grouping of flowers for being united. Following the service, each person could take a flower from the vase, a different one than they had brought. Now, Chapek was a visionary minister, a minister ahead of his time in many ways. It was a bold church, a church thinking beyond its doors, beyond what it thought possible. It was a church that was willing to take risks, to make tough decisions, to bear disappointment, to build a new way, first by building a church, and then that church could in turn build up the world. That is our mission here at this church, and that was Chapek's mission as well. And for this reason, the Gestapo arrested him in 1942. The Nazis accused Čapek of listening to foreign broadcasts and sent him to the Dachau concentration camp. Even in starvation and torture, he held a flower ceremony with his fellow prisoners, finding whatever flowers they could among the weeds of the camp. They testified to a beauty that was larger than themselves and a love that would outlive them. Norbert Čapek was killed by the Nazis, but his spirit and his courage and his commitment, they live on today in this celebration here and in many other Unitarian Universalist congregations across the country in the months of May and June. Those qualities have passed to us, spirit of courage and commitment, and it is up to us to make them real in the world. His wife, Maya, brought the flower ceremony back to the Unitarian Church in Cambridge, Massachusetts, later. What we are about to do here is not a historical reenactment of something that is over and done, but it is an affirmation of our community here with all of the generations who have come before us, the generations of struggle for ever widening liberty. And I think that that is more important today than it has been in a long time. This flower ceremony, lovely though it is, it's not a diversion from ugly reality. It is a gentle fierceness which proclaims that even in the midst of sinister days, there is always the light of beauty, the spirit that unites us. We are not here to recall something that happened, but to remember something that is happening, to remember, to pull it back again. And in that remembering, we make ourselves, we remake ourselves, we make our community and put it back together. We are part of this body of community. Out of many, we are one. Today we celebrate this ritual with solemnity, but also with joy. There is space for both. As Čapek asked his people to bring a flower and celebrate beauty, so shall we today. At this moment, I invite those of you who are at home watching to focus on something in your surrounding that is beautiful. We know you can't be here with us, and we will choose a flower for you, and I'll place it on the altar today. For those who are gathering here in person, I invite you, as we listen to some music, to come forward, gather a flower that you will take home with you. If there are folks around you who need some assistance, perhaps gather one for them as well. Welcome to Flower Communion Sunday. Now I invite you to lift your flower into the air. And I invite those of you, especially if you're sitting in the front, to turn around and take a look at the beautiful garden that we have here in the sanctuary. Give them a little gentle wave. They're blowing in the breeze. Perfect for those of us who have slight allergies. It is lovely, wonderful.
Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing our closing hymn, number 62, When the Daffodils Arrive. By way of benediction, I say unto you this morning, don't leave. Do not yet go from these walls. Rather, stick around and have another cup of coffee and join us for the annual meeting. The annual meeting, it is a time of flowers. It is when the work of this congregation blooms. This is who we are as Unitarian Universalists. Please stick around. As Mary Oliver says, my work is in the world. Here the sunflowers, there the hummingbird, equal seekers of sweetness. May it be so.